Do you know what's truly frightening? It's not the thought of failure or even the uncertainty of tomorrow. It's the quiet realization that some people will spend their entire lives working, sacrificing, and struggling, only to reach the end and still die broke. Not because they were lazy, not because fate was cruel, but because of three habits they never questioned. Habits that silently stole their future one day, one paycheck, one decision at a time. My name is Shi Heng Yi, and today on Daily Path to Strength, I want you to open your mind, because what I'm about to share isn't a theory. It's the truth that too many people ignore until it's too late. Every morning, millions of people wake up before sunrise, rush to jobs they don't love, fight through traffic, obey bosses who don't see them, work all day, come home exhausted, fall asleep, and repeat the same pattern for years, sometimes decades. Yet when you look at their lives, their bank accounts, their dreams, they have nothing to show. They worked endlessly, but they remained trapped. And the question that burns is why? Why do so many hardworking people stay poor? The answer lies not in luck, but in the invisible chains of habit. The first habit that keeps people poor forever is survival spending. People don't plan their lives, they survive them. They say, I just need to get through this month. Salary comes in, and before the first weekend ends, it's gone. Rent, bills, groceries, a dinner out, maybe a new phone, and by Monday they're empty again. They call it living, but it's not living. It's recycling poverty. When you live to survive, you eat the seed instead of planting it. Think of money like a seed. If you eat it all, there's nothing left to grow. But if you plant it, water it, protect it, it multiplies. Too many people eat the seed, then complain about never having a tree. I know this truth because I once lived it. There was a time when I stood outside offices, hungry for opportunity, waiting for someone to give me a chance. When I finally found work, I thought I had escaped struggle. But each time my income rose, my spending rose with it. I was running faster, but going nowhere. The treadmill of survival was spinning, and I was trapped on it. Maybe you felt the same, working harder than ever, yet never feeling secure, never moving forward. Let me tell you a story that will stay with you. Two young men worked in the same factory, earned the same salary, and had the same hours. One came home tired, watched TV, scrolled his phone, spent his money on small pleasures. The other came home tired too, but he spent 1 hour every night learning something new, reading about money, studying skills, and saving a little from each paycheck. 10 years passed. The first man was still in the factory, older, bitter, stuck. The second, he owned his own business. The difference wasn't luck, it was habit. One survived, the other grew. When your mind is locked in survival, you cannot grow because every action is about now, not later. Remember this, the world doesn't reward those who survive, it rewards those who build. People forget that J.K. Rowling was once broke, a single mother, rejected 12 times by publishers. She could have said, I'm poor, it's not possible. But she didn't eat her seed. She planted it. Her words became books, her books became movies, and her movies built an empire. She turned pain into growth. That's not magic, it's mindset. You see, poor people often say, I don't have enough to save. But that's not true. You don't need to start big, you need to start consistent. Because when you say, I'll start when I have more, you're already lost. If you can't manage $100, you won't manage $1,000. If you can't save $10, you won't save $100. Money magnifies who you are. It doesn't change you. Now, the second habit that keeps people poor forever is falling into traps. Money traps. The world is full of them. Crafted, polished, designed to enslave you while you believe you're free. They exist in your phone, in advertisements, in malls, in your desires. The moment people get a little extra money, what do? They buy something new. A bigger TV, a fancier phone, designer shoes, a car they can't afford. They call it rewarding myself. But they're not rewarding success, they're punishing their future. This is what I call the illusion of wealth. Poor people want to look rich. Rich people want to stay rich. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men alive, still lives in the same modest house he bought decades ago. Meanwhile, many people earning $500 a month will take a $1,000 loan for a phone. That is not freedom. That's slavery disguised as luxury. I once met a man who celebrated his raise by buying a brand new car. Every month, half his salary vanished into the bank's pocket. People admired his car, but not his struggle. That car didn't make him free. It made him a prisoner of appearances. If you want to destroy poverty, stop buying what you don't need to impress people who don't care. The smartest people use money as a tool, not a trophy. But there's another trap: fear. The poor fear losing. They say starting a business is risky, investing is risky, and so they park their money in a bank account that earns 2% while inflation eats 10%. They think they're being safe, but safety in a world that changes every second is an illusion. The richest people in history, Bezos, Musk, Gates, weren't fearless. They acted despite fear. Jeff Bezos left a secure job on Wall Street to start Amazon in a garage. People mocked him. They said he was insane. Yet he understood what most don't. The biggest risk is never trying. Those who fear losing end up losing anyway. And then there's procrastination, the deadliest of all traps. Poor people say, one day I'll save, one day I'll invest, one day I'll start. But one day never comes. Each sunrise they delay, the opportunity fades. Albert Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. The earlier you start, the faster your money multiplies. But procrastination kills time, and time is the one currency you can never earn back. The perfect moment doesn't exist. You don't need more money or more time. You need more action. And finally, the environment trap. Show me your 5 closest friends, and I will show you your future. If your circle spends their days gossiping, drinking, complaining, or wasting time, you will become one of them. Your environment is your mirror. Surround yourself with those who talk about growth, investments, discipline, and ideas, and your mind will expand. Years ago, I watched 2 groups of young men. One group spent their nights drinking and joking about their bosses. The other group stayed up building small businesses, learning digital skills, helping each other grow. 10 years later, the first group was still complaining. The second group was thriving. The environment you choose will either pull you down or lift you higher. Now let me share the third and most dangerous habit of all, the habit of blaming. Poor people always have someone to blame. They blame the government, their boss, their parents, the economy, anyone but themselves. And here's the truth. Every time you blame, you give away your power. You say it's not my fault, but what you really mean is, it's not my responsibility. The day you stop blaming and start taking responsibility is the day your life changes. I once met a young man who told me, I can't succeed because my father didn't leave me anything. I told him, then succeed so your children never say the same about you. Every generation has 2 choices, to pass down excuses or to pass down opportunities. Which one will you choose? Blaming's twin brother is complaining. People complain about their jobs, but never learn new skills. They complain about their pay, but never start a side hustle. They complain about their life, but never improve it. Complaining is comforting because it replaces effort with emotion, but emotion without action changes nothing. I've never met a person who complained their way into success. You can't rise while sitting in self-pity. You rise by movement, by mindset, by mastery. Let me tell you a story that captures this perfectly. 2 shopkeepers worked on the same street. The street was quiet, few customers. One shopkeeper sat all day complaining that business was dead. The other said, if people don't come to me, I will go to them. He started delivering goods to nearby homes. Slowly his name spread, his customers grew. Years later, he owned a supermarket. The first shopkeeper, still there, still complaining. Same street, same situation, different mindset. That's the secret. The outside world doesn't decide your future. The world inside you does. Understand this. Poverty is not the absence of money. It's the absence of vision, discipline, and belief. You can give 2 people the same money, same education, same opportunity, and one will rise while the other falls. Why? Because one changes habits, the other repeats them. Life does not reward excuses. It rewards discipline, consistency, and courage. You were not born to live in survival mode. You were born to create, to grow, to rise. So ask yourself, how many years will you waste blaming others, living paycheck to paycheck, trapped in fear and procrastination? How long will you keep waiting for the perfect time to start? 10 years from now, you will look back and regret 2 things: the chances you didn't take and the habits you didn't change. Habits are invisible chains. They feel light at first, but one day they become too heavy to break. The man who wastes 1 hour daily doesn't feel it at 20. But at 40, he realizes that hour became years of lost progress. The good news is you can change it all. You can break the chain right now. You can decide, I will not stay poor in mind or in wallet. You can refuse the traps, the fears, the excuses. You can shift from surviving to building. Every successful person you admire started with a choice, the choice to change their habits. And if they could do it, why not you? Remember this forever. Success is not built in a day, it is built daily. Every decision is a brick, every habit is a wall, every small act of discipline builds a fortress around your future. The poor chase comfort, the wise chase growth. The poor live for today, the strong build for tomorrow. Your future is not written by destiny, it's written by decisions. So, my friend, as you listen to these words, ask yourself, will you keep the habits that hold you back, or will you create the ones that make you free? Because poverty is not your destiny, it's just a test to see if you're ready to rise. Change your habits and your life will follow. This is your moment. Don't waste it. Thank you for walking the daily path to strength. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and above all, stay awake. Your future begins the moment you decide. If this message awakens something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Subscribe to Daily Path to Strength, like this video, and comment below which habit you'll change starting today. Your words might inspire someone else to rise too. Stay strong, stay disciplined, and keep walking your daily path to strength.